Today, I will be walking through the Wendigo cave while explaining the lore behind the cave and what Wendigos are. To begin, Wendigos are old folk tale creatures that represent famine, cold, winter, and more. These creatures are often skinny and lengthy creatures with big arms and legs. Wendigos eat humans, which explains why this cave is littered with bones, body parts, and many other things. This cave and fallout holds this creature at the end of it as some sort of final boss to the scary cave. You can find many other weird and unsettling creatures like the mirelurk, which is a weird crab-like creature that has a shell around it. You can also find other swamp creatures and bugs in this cave with littered body parts, trash, and other random things scattered throughout. This cave was originally a bomb shelter during the beginning of the war. It didn't last very long as it got overrun by creatures that came from the swamp just nearby. These creatures captured the cave and killed all of the humans, which explains the body parts everywhere. This cave, being a shelter, also explains the random items found in the cave. When these creatures captured the cave, it overgrown due to nobody being able to keep it under control. The water started to overtake the cave, leaving little ponds in the cave. This cave was used during the winter of 2077 to 2078 due to the freezing cold, which is another reason why swamp creatures came to this warm cave and took it over. The Wendigo came after the swamp creatures and became the alpha of the cave due to its intelligence. It used its intelligence to make bone chimes to alert it and the other creatures if someone or something entered the cave. Ghouls later followed and joined the many other creatures in the cave. The Wendigo is also found in many other places in different forms. It can be found in a gate form and is massive, known as a Wendigo gate. This creature is huge and is skinny, but all of these different types of Wendigos share one common trait. They are always hungry. There are many holotapes throughout the map that tell pre-war experiences with this folktale creature. Pre-war, many people believed in this creature and had different experiences with it. One experience that can be found on a holotape from Beverly Solomon says that the creature had a deer skull and said it was hunched over, and she said it was 10 feet tall of skin and bone with a powerful cold feeling around it. Many cryptic hunters tried to find this folktale creature. Another experience was from a lady named Morris Stevens. There is a terminal that talks about how these cannibal people were staying at Bolton Greens, and Morris was acting weird. Then, one person in their group went missing. Gregory was later found cut in half. Morris ate him, so the group kicked Morris and his wife out by themselves. There is also a holotape from Morris Stevens, which explains that he was always extra hungry, and the group was always asking questions. He talks about how difficult it is to find food now as travelers haven't come by recently. Then Gregory talks about going to Plan B and eating Gregory as he didn't help enough. Morris said Gregory looked extra tasty, and Morris and his wife went to a cave on the other side of the mountain. Morris kept eating the group even from far away. This explains why there is a Wendigo in Wendigo Cave, because the Wendigo in this cave is Morris. The leader of the group, Morris, was from Put a Bounty of Morris. A raider went to claim this bounty but thought someone was watching, and he died. Morris's wife was found dead on a blood-filled sleeping bag. On a note, it talks about how her husband looks at her extra weird now. We found out he ate her as a holotape. Morris recorded him getting corrupted by the greed and not realizing he ate his wife. He was the very first Wendigo, and he was the first of many, as Wendigos were cannibals that got corrupted by greed and hunger. There are many other experiences with Wendigos, like a church in the swamp. There is a hole, and you can find notes from a man saying about how he got stuck in a hole with a park ranger. This ranger taught the man many things to survive, but nobody came to save them. They both started going crazy, and others were found in this group, and they started killing each other while going crazy. Then, at the end of the hole in the church, you can find a note saying that the group was weak and that I was strong. I ate them to grow. This confirms that cannibals can only become Wendigos, as they have the greed that the folktale says makes many become the Wendigo. A holotape at Uncanny Caverns confirms that greed is the root of the Wendigo. This holotape is the tales in the West Virginia hills. Then, in this holotape, you hear as some sort of creature escaped containment, and everyone went crazy, and you can hear many chaotic things happening in the background. Then everything goes normal, and a robot who is the doctor for this man says that he gained his appetite back, and he is still always hungry. This man still acts like a human other than his appetite, and then the holotape ends. This doesn't mention cannibalism, so we aren't sure if that's the only cause. But it does mention how greedy the man was, risking his workers' lives for extra rewards. This shows that there may be different causes, but all share the same to similar causes: greed and cannibalism. Under the characteristics of why people become wendigo in folktale lore, it says greed transforms a people into these creatures. This also explains why the wendigo always wants more food and is never pleased. So overall, the Wendigo Cave was a shelter after the bombs were dropped due to the cold and swamp creatures captured it. Then a man named Morris and his wife were kicked out of a group for eating their own people due to hunger. Then Morris gets to corrupted, he eats his wife and is now fully corrupted. That is the lore behind Wendigo Cave. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.